Here's a game. Let's see, how about d4? d4, e6. Okay, so offering to go into the French defense. Or not. Maybe this is the Lengfellner system, perhaps. Let's see. Yeah, F4 is not a good idea here because of the queen check. So we'll go with C4. It's nice to get 3 pawns in the center when you can. Gives you a lot of control. And but you still have to develop your pieces and make sure you don't get caught out in any awkward spots. He's blocked the bishop in with d6, so he's not pinning this knight. So this knight securely defends the e-pawn. And I'm not in a hurry to push these pawns forward. They can, of course, be pushed forward. But I'm going to get my pieces out first and then decide, because I could push either the e-pawn forward or the d-pawn forward. And we'll see what looks most appropriate. And okay, so he's going for pressure along the light squared diagonal here. That's adequately defended. So I'm thinking I want to play e4. Maybe bishop here, queen here, pawn to e5 rather. Push the e-pawn forward and then checkmate. Hey, let's start the castling now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Ah, he went for that pawn. That's interesting. I was expecting bishop to b7. So I still plan to play my bishop to c2, my queen to d3, and my pawn to e5. That's the general plan here. And we'll see what he does to stop it. He should probably just play e5. Oh, he didn't. He played d5. So if I play queen d3 now and he takes, I take with the knight. He takes, I take. I'm threatening mate, but he could block. But his pawns would be hanging then. So I think I can continue with queen d3. And if he takes the c-pawn, I can take back with the pawn. And if he takes neither of them, then I can push on with e5, and that should be winning. So we'll see what he does. Time to consider his options here. What would I do? Let's see. Something needs to be done about this diagonal. Yeah, he didn't do anything about it. Something needs to be done about that diagonal. So maybe he was already in a difficult spot there. It's hard to say. Ah, that's it. That's a clever idea. So that just gives up a pawn. But it's better than succumbing to the mate. And I do have to watch out. No, I was going to say if he could put a bishop there, but his bishop is a dark squared bishop. He has no, his light squared bishop is over here. So he still needs to play some other move to block this diagonal, and then his h-pawn hangs. And now in this case, also his knight is hanging. So as my queen get trapped, he can't really harass the queen there, can he? And I'm also looking at the d-pawn. And I think I will take it. Yeah, I was looking at the rook too. I guess he had to cut his losses somewhere. But this pawn goes with check. And then I crash through on the light squares, as per my original plan. So, you know, sometimes you just have to push that g-pawn forward to block the diagonal and give up the h-pawn. Of course, that's still better for white, but you know, sometimes it's just a choice of different evils. Oh, you know, it would have been faster to... No, I couldn't take with the queen because his rook was on it. I was going to say, if I took with the queen, I'd have them lined up. But his rook is guarding that square, so taking with the queen would not have been so great. So just queen g6 to h7. And if the king tries to run away, I have bishop to e6, cutting off the escape. So that's good. That's a good move. Yeah. Yes, sometimes you get these backfires against the queen. So he's going to get a piece back here. Where's the best place to go? Well, let's still bring the queen over here. He can take the bishop with either the queen or the rook, and I can drop my queen back to g3 and keep up some pressure on the king's side. So that wasn't so swift. That I didn't prepare for that bishop back to c8 maneuver. That was a good move. I'm still winning with three extra pawns, right? 1, 2, 3. But the game will go on. And let's see, he's going to maybe take my knight and try and weaken the center a little bit by doing that. I'm defending the center. I'm letting him take here and open up the G file, so I have to watch out for the skewer or the pin along the G file here. So I will step the king out of the way immediately, though, and put the rook on G1. And that should be okay. It'll also give me some pressure here. These pawns in the center are also controlling this. Particularly the advanced e pawn here controls f6. Very handy to have that in. Yeah, I think I want to stay on the G file. And the king over. Well, I can take that. He's offering the pawn to see if I will fall for rook to g8 there. I can also take the h pawn here, huh? Okay, well, first let's get things lined up. Now, when I play f4, if he takes with the pawn, I can take... No, I still can't take his bishop, but I can come in here with check and mate. Okay, so f4 is a pretty big threat. He can't take with the rook because the bishop's behind it. His attack on f2 is not happening just yet. Okay, so he guards the g7 square now. That's a good idea for him. Do I still want to play f4? f4, pawn takes, bishop takes. You know, he's got pressure on that bishop, but I'm also hitting the h pawn. He's got pressure on f2. So let's talk about this. Let's consider this. Pawn here, pawn takes, bishop takes. It's his move. Can he intensify the pressure on the bishop? Yeah, by bringing his queen there. I drop my bishop back, defending f2. Bringing his queen there also would leave his bishop hanging. So I think I am okay. Okay, and I should have checked the light square diagonal. I opened that up. But his queen can't move there immediately, and I can block it with rook to g2. I should have checked that before playing f4, though. That's the rule. I mean, that's the general advice. You want to check these things before you get into trouble. Okay, so he's challenging on the g file right away. Let's go there. Let's see, if I go there, he could play rook f8, I guess. I could go over here. I guess my queen is okay there. He's still not going to deliver a check along this diagonal just yet. And then I'm threatening to take here with check. What I need is to get all the force off the board so I can win the endgame. That's the best way to win at this point. So, yeah, I abandoned that pawn. So, but isn't this pretty good? This check. He only has one move. Then, if there's only another check, like with my bishop here, that would be pretty good. But I can throw on this check. And his queen is pinned. Yeah, I should just take it off, though. Probably the simplest thing to do there. And then harass his bishop. Be nice if my rook weren't on the back rank. He could play rook here, check, and mate me. But let's just block the G file for the moment. So what did he do? He won a pawn back, so I'm only 2 pawns up. Still a winning endgame. So he's harassing my rook a little bit with his bishop. Let's see, these are the only 2 pawns that are on light squares. So let's bring my king over, centralize the king. And of course, if he wins that pawn, I will just take everything off and win the endgame. So what's the simplest way to do this? Here. Hold on to that pawn for a while. Force him to move these pawns forward so they're not going anywhere. And I can come over and scoop them up while he has to round up this pawn. So let's push these pawns forward over here now that he's kind of frozen on this side of the board. And, he can try for some breakthrough tricks, like pawn here, I take. He takes this way and try to get a breakthrough on this side, but my pawn's queen's first, so it doesn't work. Okay, so they're all frozen, so now he'll have to go and gather up that pawn, and I come over and gather up this pawn. So he's letting me demonstrate my endgame technique. How nice of him. Okay, decided to resign. Yeah, I guess my handling of the winning position wasn't so convincing. He had to be sure that I could actually win the game. Anyway, good game. I'll upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.